say something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Wil on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Wil, T-Wil, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Welcome, Atlanta Falcon fans, to another edition of What the Falcon, Home of the Brave, with your host, T-Wil, and my guy, Scott Carasik, like Jurassic. How you doing, man? All
I'm
well?
doing good. This past game I felt like I jinxed us. So I'm just like, I don't want to jinx us again. I don't want to make any predictions if I can help it.
Sir, nothing could be further from the truth. There's nothing you did or could have done to influence the impact of that game. That game was terrible. It was awful. It was no good. It should never have happened. It was hard to watch, and it was not your fault. So I will not accept that. As a matter of fact, we'll do predictions this week, sir. Yeah, it's not your
I
fault.
felt like injuries were. I know that sounds like a complete cop out for a lot of stuff, but injuries were a massive issue in this game. You were missing
That's fair.
You were
Yeah.
missing 5 defensive starters between Diablo, Bowman, Walker. You were missing Harrison, and then later in the game, you were missing Bates.
That's fair. You were. I think my takeaway from this past week's game is that it would appear to me, okay, that our team, our scheme is player driven and not scheme driven. In other words, if you take one guy out and plug another one in, whew,
It's not the same, and that's
right.
not a good scheme to have.
Exactly.
You want a scheme that can both be player and scheme driven. So, like, yeah, you might have some plays in there where it's on the player, but you're gonna have a lot of plays in there where it's not, and it's on the scheme, and the scheme just gets guys open. They run so much stuff where it's like 4 deep comebacks, and 4 deep comebacks is not enough. It's just not. It's not going to make anything work, especially on a play that you need them to develop. All 4 guys are going to get manned up real easy. I hate to say it, we don't have a team that can beat man defense without running different kinds of plays. Got to run those different kinds of plays.
Yeah, to me, we just seem unimaginative. If
It is.
it just seems like, okay, here it is. If you can stop it, good. And I'm not going to change anything, and we'll be here all day. And
Remember week 1 when I showed 4 concepts? It was a play action flood. It was a mesh rail. It was a Texas smash. And it was something that was basically like a Mills type concept. They haven't run any of those plays all year. Not a single one of them.
Why do you think that is?
Because Zach Robinson doesn't run the same plays that Sean McVay does. Because if he did, our offense would be scoring 40 points a game. There's just no reason why he's running such basic. Just there's some plays that people run, and you look at it, and you're like, "What is this trying to accomplish?" And that is a lot of Zach's plays. Like, I don't understand why people like comeback routes so much in the NFL. I think they're the most useless route you can have. And to have more than one on a single play in a game is even more useless. Like, I get a comeback route, like just a simple button hook type deal. If you're running a smash concept, that I get. That makes sense to me. But running multiple button hooks next to each other or 4 all the way across like they did a couple times versus the Dolphins, I'm like, what are we trying to accomplish here?
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. So let's talk about what we're trying to accomplish. And let's do this. So anybody who's ever gone up against Kyle Shanahan, you know that every play that he runs has a purpose, right? In other words, I'm going to run a duo, right? I'm going to run it to the right side. I'm going to run it 2 or 3 times. But on that 4th time, on that duo, I'm not running it. It's a play action pass, and I'm going to the other side of the field, and the tight end's going to be wide open because all game long we ran that duo to the right side, and the defense has become conditioned to going to the right side, and they're not going to see it coming when we come back to the left. That's a purpose, right? You're setting up something. Now, I do not have the formation acumen that you do in football, but just from these little simple eyes, I don't see us doing that, Scott. I don't see that we run plays with a purpose to set up anything later. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. One of my biggest complaints in the entire passing game is when we do run play action, it doesn't marry up with the actual run plays we call.
Okay, because I thought it was just me. You know,
we've got to run more interior run plays, or, which I'm okay with that idea. Totally fine. Run some more gap interior run plays. That is totally fine. Run some more inside zone. That's totally fine. Because if you're going to run those fakes with inside zone and gap plays, the linebackers know right now, if they're running an interior run action, it's not a run. And they back up. So if you surprise them 3, 4, 5 times, like, you know what, we're just running it right at you until you stop it. Then they finally go, oh shit, they're actually running it right up the middle. Mm-hmm. They're actually running it up the middle. Okay, so you attack it right up the middle. Now what do? Okay, now you call the play action. And instead of calling the play action where it's a deep out, like he's been doing, you call a play action where it's a post right where the linebackers would have been.
Okay.
It's not hard. It's common sense. And then when you play a team like the 49ers, who run a lot of man defense, who run a lot of stuff that you could have easily beat with mesh, and you don't run a single mesh play to attack that linebacker over the middle and have that hook on the outside, because mesh is normally 2 drags, and then there's a hook through the middle, and then there's a rail concept on the back end with the running back. We would eat on that. We would eat like 2 fat guys at a buffet, like you and me at a buffet. Like, we would just kill it. Like,
I'm first in line, by the way. Just
that's fine. Like, but we would kill it if we just ran mesh rail, like, against man defense. Because
why then do we not do that, Scott? Why are we running the same plays? Why are national sports pundits and analysts calling us out for being redundant and running the same plays and being predictable? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, Zach Robinson seriously this week needs to do as much self-scouting as possible and call up McVay and call up Shanahan and call up whoever the hell else he's worked for in the past and say, hey, where am I screwing up? Also, where is Ken Zampese in all this? Where is TJ Yates just to be like, smack, get it together, dude. Figure your shit out. Where are our senior offensive assistants in this saying, listen, this isn't working. We need to fix it. How do we fix it? Where's Ledford in there going, hey, why does our run action not match the run game I've designed? And maybe these conversations are being had, but it's not producing any fruit. Maybe he needed to get smacked around by both the Panthers and the Dolphins and also the 49ers to be like, okay, well, yeah, maybe my scheme needs some changes.
I don't. So here's what I don't understand, right?
And you can install those 4 plays in a week, by the way.
Supposedly, this is when Raheem took office, when Raheem, was selected to be our head coach. He said that everything would be a collaborative effort. You remember that? Remember that word he used a lot? Collaboration, right? I don't know that we're collaborating if we're seeing the same thing over and over again. Would you not agree?
I agree.
So I don't know, man, but here's what's going on in the world of everything Falcon. Raheem Morris called out the trenches this week. He says the only similarities between the Panthers and Dolphins games was that we didn't play well up front. Direct messages to players and staff signals frustration and ownership awareness. Raises the question, who is the message really for? The fans, the front office, or the locker room? When your head coach singles out the front lines, that's a direct challenge to pride and toughness. Now, I will give you that we did not have the greatest game. We didn't have a great game on either offense or defense, but the defense was out there for damn near 40 minutes. So, I get that they ran it, but they were out there for damn near 40 minutes, Scott. This is more so driven on the offense because we had a couple of 3 and outs. We were totally inept. We got a garbage touchdown at the end of the game that really meant nothing. Where are you on Raheem's comments on this? Because what's interesting is he said Zach Robinson was fine. We don't see that here, but he said Zach Robinson was fine. Thoughts. Just give me your thoughts before I even say anything. Give me your.
I mean, a lot of the issues they pointed out to identifying up front. Yeah, they had trouble identifying guys up front, and Newsel was blocking the wrong guy. There were 3 or 4 plays where I was like, there's a hole here if Newsel blocks a different guy or if Berg blocks a different guy. So something is wrong with there is some miscommunication up front, but there's also just some issues on the right side. And I'm not saying Lindstrom is an issue. I'm saying Wilkinson, as good as he was those first 5 games, these last 2, which I said going into the 49ers game, it was going to be a test. I said going into the Dolphins game, he's going to have a test with Chubb and Phillips. He failed. He failed. He failed those tests.
Did he fail against? I'm sorry. Did he fail against those defensive ends? Did he fail against those defensive ends, Scott, or did he fail against their scheme? Please clarify that for us.
It had nothing to do with scheme. It was one-on-one. Jimmy's and Joe's could not make the block.
Okay.
Could not get out there quick enough, and they knew he didn't have the speed, and they just kept saying, hey, you versus him, one-on-one, match it up. Okay. And we didn't make any adjustments to Chip to help him out. Is that partially our fault? Yes. But is that also partially on Wilkinson? Absolutely.
Okay.
Norton has the speed. Norton has the quickness to get out there.
Okay.
If Norton is fully healthy, he should be starting at right tackle because he's shown in the past that he's an even better pass blocker than Caleb McGarry. What you lose in Norton is run blocking. That is okay. You're okay to lose some run blocking. Honestly, that's why you want to run some more 6 offensive line sets and have Wilkinson out there as a second right tackle. You might even run some 6 offensive line sets in pass situations and play action situations because 6 offensive linemen in the pistol set signals run. But you run a play action and you've got a screaming Kyle Pitts in the seam. All I'm saying, that should be a big deal.
Okay.
Especially if you marry it up with the stretch run action.
I would think so. I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that 100%. So, do you agree or disagree with Raheem's comments about the lines this week?
I agree. I also think that the lines were just undermanned, especially on defense.
Okay.
Like that defensive line without Zach Harrison, who has been a massive difference maker, not just in the run game, in the pass rush. He is the Falcons' best pass rusher this year, not just in sacks, in
Okay.
pressures per snap, and pressure rate, and all of it. That's where he's the best Falcons pass rusher.
Okay.
And he's primarily rushing from a 3 technique. He's out there looking like Rod Coleman, but taller, like just killing it.
Okay. Do you think he's back this week or no? Like, what's his?
I honestly think if everybody on that list that's listed as limited is a full participant tomorrow, we're going to see no one listed as questionable but Storm. And that's just because Storm is currently on injured reserve, and you have to list the guy as questionable until you pull him off.
Okay.
That's a paperwork thing.
Okay.
Like you can't legally list a guy as in the game when he's not on the roster.
Okay. All right. Fair. Let's get into this week's matchup: Falcons versus Patriots. Ulbrich versus McDaniels. Patriots offense, 75% completion rate. That's not bad. 75% completion rate. 24 TDs. Defensive keys: pressure the quarterback, stay disciplined versus play action, stop the screens, tighten up on the red zone, create turnovers. Although general, do you agree with this?
I would say yes. I'm not super worried about the Patriots running game. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Falcons are the get right, and that's how it's felt the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they really did.
But I mean, if JD Bertrand's in there, I'm marking it up as a loss in the first place just because that dude fucking blows. Like, he has no reaction time. Like, it takes him 3 seconds to decipher whether it's a run or a pass or whether it's going left or right. I've never seen a dude with a slower processing computer on the field at middle linebacker in forever.
You know who he reminds me of? You remember Duke Riley when we drafted him?
Duke Riley was better. Like, that's how bad
Bertrand.
So?
No. I'm not saying when he ended up with the Eagles. You think he was better as a rookie?
As a rookie, Duke Riley was better because Duke Riley at least had the speed to make up for his mistakes.
Okay.
When if you're gonna make a mistake, you better get there fast. Bertrand is slow, man. I could probably outrun Bertrand, and I'm slow as shit.
I'm trying to understand why he's I just, not that I feel better, but I feel better that you said it, because I was on Lowe's show last week, and I went in on Bertrand a little bit, and they were like, "Oh, you whatever," but I'm being honest. I'm looking at what I'm seeing here. Like, I'm looking at what I'm seeing here. And
I was under the impression they were going to be running Bertrand against the run if they could, and then popping him out for, Harrison or Woods for the passes.
Or Malone.
Well, Bertrand played 68 plays out of 69 snaps.
Right.
He just straight up replaced them. And that is not a good plan to use JD Bertrand.
He gave up the first 2 touchdowns. He
is fucking horrible.
Okay.
He didn't just give up the first 2 touchdowns. He gave up 4 touchdowns in that game.
Okay.
He gave up every single solitary touchdown because of a mistake that he made. It was either his gap responsibility and he was too late in the run game, or he just got lost in coverage and his man just beat.
That happened a lot.
He just does not know how to play football at an NFL level. And the fact that he I want him to
I am in complete agreement with you, because the funny thing is, and you and I didn't even talk before this show, I said this same thing on Lowe's show last Sunday. Same exact thing. Word for word, when you were like, you know what I mean? So, okay, it's not me. Good. Okay.
The only thing that JD Bertrand does well is move forward. You're not moving forward in coverage. So
why not call who was the Falcons linebacker? Josh, what's his name? That was
Josh Woods.
Why not put him in?
I don't know. I would have had Woods out there and just said, JD, you're a fucking special teamer, dude. Like that is your role. You're a perfectly solid special teamer because it's just running straight forward. You maintain your lane, you maintain your gap, you play very disciplined there. On defense, you play like shit. And you will not be on my defense until you learn how to fucking play. Like I have no sympathy for JD Bertrand. He would not, if I was a coach, he would never see the field on defense. Period. He would just never see the field because it took him too long to read his keys.
He diagnose plays. Yeah.
He was sitting, thinking, what do I do? Okay, go there. Oh shit, I'm already out of the play.
Right.
Like, I don't need that. Woods.
It's gotta be muscle memory.
Woods in preseason was out there and he was quick. And Woods and Bertrand probably have about the same athleticism. Woods has a lot more length. I'll give him that. Woods is 6'2". He's got some more range on him. You know, he's probably a little quicker sideline to sideline, which is what you want. But, like, there's no reason for J.D. Bertrand to be on the defensive field. And the fact he is going to have the Falcons losing games until they realize this guy fucking blows.
You don't think they know that?
Well, then why are they not doing something about it? They shouldn't
that
be
is
doing
the
it like preseason.
$50 million question.
This is not preseason. If it was preseason, I wouldn't care about him playing 68 out of 69 snaps. Preseason, go for it. Let him go out there and take all the linebacker snaps. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. Like JD Bertrand out there in preseason, have a ball. JD Bertrand out there in the regular season, we better have 4 other linebackers on the field and be in a goal line set. Like, that's the only time I'm okay with JD Bertrand.
I said the same thing, Scott. So if I know this and you know this,
Ulbrich has to know it.
So why is he playing?
I don't know. He needs to not play him. He needs to put in Woods. He needs to put in Harrison. He needs to put in Helms. He needs to put in Fuller. He needs to put in Malone. Malone has a quicker processor.
Yes, he does.
Malone, who's played football as a linebacker, as an off-ball linebacker, less than 15 snaps in his career, was processing quicker as an off-ball linebacker in a Jimmy Lake scheme last year than Bertrand has shown this year. Like, it just doesn't work. There's no reason for JD Bertrand to be on a football field right now.
Well, you know what?
Unless you special teams.
You said it, and you are a man after my own heart because I sure said it. My wife my wife was like, "You went a little hard on Bertrand, didn't you?" So I felt bad. I felt bad afterwards, right? Because Love was like, he and Uncle Steve were like, "You going hard." And I was like, "I'm just being honest." So, Scott, once again,
I would say it to his face.
I agree, but I'm just saying
because I don't care. I want him to play better, and if me calling his ass out on our little show gets his ass to play better, that's all I want. I just want him to play better, and if he plays better, I'll acknowledge it. But until he does, he's on the top of my shit list because he doesn't know how to read the fucking offensive key. He is right there at the top. I have no hope for this defense if I see 40 out on that field.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm laughing because I felt the same way, right? So I just kind of take you through it. He comes in the 49ers game, and I'm like, okay, this is it. At that moment, I'm like, okay, it's over. Because I knew. Even on the first play, I think he tripped on somebody's feet on a pass rush in the 49ers game and caused some sort of kerfluffle or whatever. But I'm saying to myself going into the Dolphins game, okay, I know he's not going to be out there. And sure as you said it, first play, he pushes the guy out of bounds. And I'm like, okay, please don't go back to him again. And he's in there.
That was his one good play.
The one good play.
I will acknowledge he played that perfectly. After that play, it's straight down the goddamn toilet.
It was. It really was. But I'm glad you said it because I'm like, maybe it's me. I'm like, baby, it's me.
No, it was obvious. Damsky was saying it. I was
I,
saying it. Trey was saying it.
I
Like
don't, I
we
don't.
are the film guys, and like Falcons Twitter. Like we'll sit there and we'll grind through film. I had to turn off the all 22 3 times when I was doing my review because I was like, I can't watch this goddamn defense. I can't because I know 40 is going to be in the wrong spot,
Okay. All
and
right. So it's
it's
not
so
just me.
frustrating.
Okay. Okay. I feel better. I feel better. And I'm not saying I feel better because of but I feel better because I'm watching this like, is it me? Am I wrong? Like,
No,
am I unnecessarily attacking this guy? But
remember
gee.
last year when the defense just went straight down the shitter
Yep.
after they lost Troy Anderson?
Yep.
It's because they were playing 40.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100%. So Patriots run a lot of play action. A lot of play action.
Yes, they do.
So Falcons are going to have to be disciplined. And they're
And
going
that
to
ain't
have to
Katie
be.
Bertrand.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think about Ulbricht's comments when he said we're going to do the same thing? You
I
think that
was
was just
like,
coach speak?
I hope that's coach speak because if they do the same thing, then he's getting his ass fired. He's getting Raheem fired, and this whole experiment is over. That whole front office and everything is gone. If he plays JD Bertrand, this team will lose the next 2 games until they get back Divine Diablo. It's
I
just
don't
what
think
will happen.
I don't think Diablo's coming back anytime soon, Scott.
Diablo's got a 4-week injury. He's got a broken forearm. He doesn't have anything crazy. It is a 4-week injury. The reason why he's on IR is because the cast comes up to here.
Okay.
But he can work out that bicep and make that work.
Can you work out that bicep where you got that on? Why you have that on? Do you have range of motion? Can you?
You have range of motion to use your bicep.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
You can work the tricep out. It's not going to be as strong of a workout. You got to do a lot more reps, but he can at least keep them moving.
Yeah.
Not get any atrophy.
Yeah.
He can work out that wrist with grip drills.
Yeah. That was my concern.
I've broken my forearm right there when I was playing baseball when I was 12, and that was what they had me do. And I had very little atrophy. If I can do it as a 12-year-old.
You got hit with how'd you break it? You got hit with the ball or you got hit with the
This is a fun story. I was playing baseball on a team and we were shagging balls in center field. I was just being showboaty and I caught a ball and then my glove fell off my hand on the other side of the fence. I climbed over the fence. As I was climbing back over the fence, my lace got caught and I landed on my wrist. Straight back, landed on my wrist.
Oh.
Broke right through the growth plate.
Oh. Ouch. Okay. How long were you in a cast?
2 weeks. But I was also 12, so I could heal up a lot faster.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But like even at 28, like you should still be able to heal up in 3 weeks. And he's also an elite athlete with way better trainers and everything than I have.
That's fair.
So you give him 3 weeks, give him another week to start coming off IR, and he'll be back soon enough, you know?
All right. Let's address the elephant in the room. This Patriots defense against this Falcons offense. Patriots 70 they play 70% zone coverage. They allow 5.4 yards per play. Falcons offense gained 5.5 yards per play, and they are 4.4 yards per carry in rushing. Offensive keys, quick passes to London and Pitts. If London is going to play,
I'm expecting London to play.
Okay. Establish Bijan early, exploit red zone weaknesses, 66% TD rate allowed, handle blitz pressure.
If Storm Norton is active and Storm Norton is starting, I would not be shocked to see them have some 6 offensive lineman sets in there.
That's where I was going.
And run some play action to throw off the blitzing. And definitely establish Bijan on some stretch rights.
Okay. Because that's what the Dolphins did to us. They came out in a six. They on several plays. They had 6 offensive linemen, and they ran the ball, and we could not stop it. So
we could not stop it.
That's fair. Okay. Anything else you'd add to this, Scott?
Just as frustrating as these Falcons have been, it's been primarily on this offensive side.
Okay. Yes, it has.
And because on defense, they're allowing 22 points a game. I said this year, if the offense is what we think it is, and this defense allows 23 or less points a game, this team will win 12 games.
You did say that.
But the offense has not been what we thought it would be.
No, it is
not. The offense is one of the worst scoring offenses in the league, if not the worst.
Yep.
Actually, we're 5th behind the fucking Saints.
So, Scott, let me ask this question. We are 7th in yards, so we're moving the ball. We just choke up when it gets down inside the red zone.
Yep.
What gives with that? Give me your thoughts on why that is, because it's not like we're just not moving the ball at all. You said what?
That's 100% schematic.
Okay.
If you can't score points, but you can move the ball downfield, you have the players, but you don't have the coaches. It is that simple.
All right.
Because the red zone is where schemes get exposed.
I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. Well, not difficult from you, just difficult to hear. Do you think this coaching staff, as presently constructed, can get us to the playoffs this year?
If they swallow their pride and realize that they fucking suck right now, absolutely. And I have no problem. I would tell the coaches to their faces, listen, you guys suck. You guys got to figure your shit out. Why aren't you running this and this and this and this? It would be open if you would run this. Install the plays. You have better plays than what I can draw up. I know you do. You have experience in the NFL that I don't have. But I've drawn up 6 things that would instantly work, and I know they would work because we have the personnel that would take advantage of these matchups. We have a Kyle Pitts that can go on over the middle on a drag. We have a Darnell Mooney that can take the other drag. We have a Bijan that can go up. We have a perfect guy for that deep hook on that deep central hook on the mesh, that mesh rail play. We've got a guy who can stretch a defense. Honestly, you can throw anybody to stretch that defense in that route because that's a clear route. You don't ever really throw to that in the mesh. That's your 5th read in the mesh. So you throw Casey Washington there and have him do a clear out. Like, it's not rocket science here. I don't know why they're treating it as such.
Okay.
If your scheme isn't working, you change your scheme. If we were running all that stuff and it wasn't working and I was like, well, you know what? We need to change it up. Let's run something different. You run something different. Zach Robinson also doesn't understand the flow of a game. It's 3rd and 2. You're running it right down their throats every single play. They're loading up versus the run. So you call a run? No, that's a perfect time for a play action.
And that's why not running play action hurts you.
Call a play action. Call the play action stretch where you've got the boot rollout, where if he needs it, Penix can go get that yard.
Yeah.
Penix can go run and get it. It's there if he needs it. But if he's got guys open downfield 20 yards and he's got Pitts on the corner, let him throw to Pitts.
Yeah.
Let him get 25 yards on a corner route. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Pitts drops it? Oh no, you're on 4th and 2 now.
I see this. You see this. Why don't they? Do you think they see it?
They see it, but they're just too stubborn to change. And that's a bigger issue. Because at this point, you should be able to self-scout and see this is where my weaknesses are in the scheme.
And I agree with that. I would see. Here's the thing, right? Everything that we're talking about, they know and more. You'd have to assume they know this and more. So to the extent that they know this and are still hell bent on doing it their way, I gotta ask it: is this the coaching staff? Because I mean, at this point, look, when Raheem started, I was all team Raheem. I really was, and I think
Well,
Raheem is a wonderful speaker. I love him, but as a head coach, because to me, you lose that game to the Dolphins. If Zach Robinson is still your OC, we got to have Zach and I would have a serious talk. We're gonna have a come to Jesus. We're gonna have a serious talk. We're gonna get together in a room for about 12 hours.
this is his
You
second strike for me.
agreed.
This is
Agreed.
the if this offensive performance bullshit happens again, this just complete mismanagement of the offense happens again, I'm kicking your ass to the curb and I'm elevating TJ and seeing what TJ's doing.
Agreed. But I'm saying that's the conversation that has to be had. What's interesting to me is that he would not acknowledge Zach Robinson's, shall we say, deficiency in this last game. Now, I know you
He's
don't
not going to do it
necessarily.
publicly. That's one thing I'll say about Raheem. Raheem will never do that publicly.
Well, he called out the
That
lines
is
publicly.
always going to be.
He called out the
He called
lines.
out the lines vaguely. He said, "Hey,
He
we
did.
weren't kicking ass up front like we
He
needed to."
did. He did.
He
He
didn't
did.
say like this guy sucks, this guy sucks, this guy sucks.
No. And nor should he. And I agree. But
Right?
you have to address the fact. Like he could have said, okay,
He
we
does.
need
He does
more.
say we got
We
out
need more
coached.
from our offense. We need more. There are ways to say it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
There
and
there
and he
there
could have
there are
done
ways
that.
to say it.
He
There
could
are
have
ways
done
to
that,
say
and
it.
he has said similar stuff to that in the past. But when he says we got out coached, that's him calling out his coaches.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's him saying we got out coached. They out coached us. Well, you got out coached in 3 games so far this year, and you know I'm not counting the Bucks game as one of those 3 because I think the
No,
Bucks game they could have won. They should have
they
won.
could have won. Yeah, and
You
probably
know,
should. Yeah.
but that's one of the 4 losses that they could have should have won.
Hmm.
The other 3 are coaching malpractice and playing guys that didn't belong out there.
Yeah.
JD Bertrand did not belong out on the field.
So
And
if we know
continuing to
this,
play him is a
right?
coaching failure.
I don't. So if you see Jay, it's Sunday. It's 1 o'clock. Scott, you got your snacks and everything in front of you. You're good to go. You know what I mean? You're ready to watch the game, and you see Bertrand on that field. What?
I've given up on the game. Game already over.
Okay.
Like I have no faith in JD Bertrand.
Yeah.
Like I said, play our podcast over in their meeting rooms. I have no problem saying this to their face. Like if JD Bertrand is out on the field, I've lost all hope for this game. Because it says to me Jeff Ulbrich didn't learn his lesson playing him against the Dolphins. If he can't stop the Dolphins, there's no way he can stop Hunter Henry. There's no way he can stop Ramondre Stevenson. And those guys, Hunter Henry's pretty good. Ramondre Stevenson is not.
That's fair. We got some folks in the chat, man. I got so caught up in the conversation, I missed it. So we got John Brooks in here. John says, "Yo, what up, T-Wil? What's up, John? How you doing, man?" We got Miss Carrie in the building. She says, "Hi, T-Wil and Scott." Miss Carrie says, "I am nervous about the New England game. Seems like Zach Robinson doesn't make in-game adjustments or even adjustments after the game. Example, 49ers to Dolphins. What adjustments did he make from San Francisco to Miami?" Shaking my head, sigh.
He doesn't make any adjustments. He sticks with his scheme because he thinks his scheme is bulletproof, and it is not proven to be bulletproof. He is not Kyle Shanahan.
And that's what I don't understand. That is what I don't understand. Carrie says, "Also sucks we couldn't get the run game going against the worst run defense. Now we face the second base one Sunday, a team who hasn't allowed 50 yards rushing to a running back all season. I'm nervous." She says we aren't scheming up good plans in the red zone to be able to score. We had the same issue last season. Shaking my head, man. But Raheem has all the faith in him, and Zach Robinson doesn't think his play calling is predictable.
Here's the thing:
Okay,
he knows his play calling is predictable. He's
so what?
basically said it's an execution error. No, it's his execution error.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Like there was a coach that said that was caught in a interview one time, and it was like, well, how do you feel about the defense's execution after that first half? And then he just said, I'm for it. Like, and like I'm for them getting executed. like that's how Zach
I
Robinson.
remember that.
Yes,
I remember that. I
like Zach
remember that. He
Robinson.
said I'm for it. Yeah, yeah.
Every time he says it's an execution issue, that pops up in my head, and I'm like, are you blaming the players because your scheme sucks? Like, dude, it's on you. It's 100% on Zach Robinson. He's not giving easy buttons. There's no easy buttons in the offense. This thing should be all easy buttons. We've got a rookie quarterback. Should be all stuff where it's man beaters, zone beaters, nothing but easy buttons, nothing but play action. You know, like the fact that we don't set up the easy buttons is a big issue.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
I don't
that easy slot throw that he throws to Pitts for, like, where Pitts is basically slant boy. Like, give me that 6 times a game. Pitts has shown that he's going to take it for 10 yards every time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, no one would have any worries about Kyle Pitts if he was putting up 6 for 70 in a 3 game. People would be like, oh. I think everybody's kind of back on the bandwagon for Pitts this year.
I think they are, because Pitts has been doing it. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him. I have nothing bad to say about Pitts. Pitts has been consistent.
Pitts has been consistent. Exactly. I think his worst game.
I have nothing bad to say about him.
I think Pitt's worst game was like 3 catches for 41 yards, and it was
but even that wasn't his fault. Even that wasn't his fault. They just didn't go to him, right? But this year, I can say there's not been a play where I said Pitts took that off or Pitts wasn't where me. I'm speaking for me.
I've seen a couple where they sent him deep, and he was just like, "Well, it ain't coming to me," and he kind of throttled down, but they weren't going to him. But yeah, like the Buffalo game, they threw it to him 3 times for 18 yards. That's his worst game all year.
Yeah.
Every other game this year, he's had at least 4 catches, at least 37 yards. At a minimum, that's what you should be expecting from your tight end, right?
And even in that Buffalo game, I think one of those catches was for a first down. It was on a third down.
It was a third down. He needed 10 yards, and he got it.
Yeah.
And it was that slant play.
I got no issue with Pitts.
All 3 of his catches went for first down in that game.
Yep.
So like it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm cool with Pitts because that's what you need.
Okay. You made me think of something. I forgot it. Carrie says, I agree, Scott. There's no reason we should be one of the worst teams in the league in scoring with this talent. Averaging 10 points on the road is terrible and inexcusable. Carrie says, Scott is right, but the issue is I don't think they want to change, or they're too arrogant to think they need to. I don't get it. Everyone sees it. National media, fans, the points per game scored, our record. Yeah, I'm with Carrie on, like, I don't. It's like the JD Bertrand thing. I'm saying to myself, when I saw him, I'm being honest with you, I did not have a good feeling about this Dolphins game.
No.
But when I saw
the injury report and the inactives, I was like, oh, we're fucked.
When play one happened and you see JD Bertrand, I'm like, oh boy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's gonna be a rough ride. But I don't know, man. Let's talk about this interview with Rich McKay, because some Falcons folks were really not happy about it. And we gotta get to it a bit. So let's get to it. Or not. Let's get to the keys of the game. Win on first down, contain play action, score touchdowns, not field goals, protect Penix Jr. or Kirk. Communicate
No, it's going to be
defensively.
pennies.
Discipline, finish, leadership. That's the winning formula. Okay, so here's the thing, and this is what I wanted to discuss with you. It also seemed like some of the receivers were not aware of the audible routes to go to. I can think of David, what's his name? Sills. Is that his last name? Sills? David Sills, whatever.
Oh, you mean when Sills ran the comeback and Kirk threw it deep?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
That was
Kirk
an audible.
misreading the defense, by the way.
Kirk called an audible, did he not?
No, that was Kirk misreading the defense. Sills ran a choice route. The coverage was playing cover 3. In a choice, he's on a comeback. Kirk threw it deep because he thought he was going to go deep. That doesn't make any sense when the choice in the cover 3 says call comeback. If they were in cover 2, you go deep because that's a honey hole shot. So Kirk made the wrong read there because they were in cover 3 or cover 4. That's on Kirk. That is not on Sills.
Okay.
Same thing happened with Mooney. Middle field open. You cut it into the middle of field. Middle of field was open. It was cover 2, cover 4. So Mooney cut it to the middle of field. Kirk threw it deep, like it was middle of field closed, cover 3, cover 1.
He did.
That was on Kirk.
So was that just being rusty? Was that being
partially? Yes.
Okay.
He made the wrong read.
So what
the receiver's route was going to be?
What was the argument about between he and Zach? Did you see that on the sideline?
I guarantee you it's just him about play calling. Just like, hey, why aren't we running stuff over the middle? Why aren't we running mesh? And why aren't we running the stuff that like I was killing at last year? Why aren't we running these deep outs that we were doing great with? Because they weren't running deep outs. They have not run very much of the scheme that they were actually running last year either. That's the other thing. They were running some pretty fun stuff last year. They were running mesh. They were running a lot of the concepts that I want them to run last year. They were running dagger. They were running mills. They're not running that as much this year.
Why is that?
Because he's simplified it for God knows why, and it doesn't make sense. Simplifying a scheme that's already really fucking simple doesn't work.
Do you think he simplified it because he's simplifying it for Penix? Or do you think he simplified it because McGarry's not there? Or
did he simplify it because he's trying to get fired so he can go to Oklahoma State and take over that job?
I don't know.
Like, that's what it feels like.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Let's get to Rich McKay's interview. Now, something came out of that interview that has a lot of people upset. And that is that Rich McKay, even though we knew it, those of us who, you had to know it, is still involved in some of the Falcons conversations and some big decisions. Some fans called it a slap in the face, accused the front office of lacking accountability, compared to Arthur Smith's firing. How do you feel about that? First off, did you hear the interview?
I did. I didn't pick any of that out of that.
Okay.
He basically was like, yeah, I still help the football side on the business side.
Yeah. Well, he's the CEO.
He's the CEO. That's his job. He's helping out with like stadium management, ticket sales. He helps out with contracts because that is part of his job. But he's not out there reviewing film and telling coaches what to do. Like, not to be a Rich McKay defender here, but like, y'all don't understand what his role is. He has to know some stuff about the football team because it runs through him. As a CEO, he has to know stuff so he can get the marketing team on the right guys.
Yep.
You don't want them marketing David Sills instead of Bijan Robinson. Like, I know that's like a stupid thought that they would even do that, but that is his call.
No, I get it.
That is like what McKay's role in the organization is to make like those recommendations and that kind of stuff. So when people are like, oh, well, McKay's getting too deep into football. No, he's not. He needs to know stuff for his job.
Yeah, I think what threw people, and again, I'm not saying it either way because I don't think the Falcons' problems. I don't think this iteration of the Falcons' problems stem from McKay. Let me say that. But what I will say is when all of this when the reorg happened, okay, the impression was that McKay would focus on United and their business and stadium business, and that was it. And one of the things he said in the interview is that he is involved in certain high level decisions with the Falcons. Now, what those are, I don't know, but I could see how some folks would feel misled.
So here's what a high level decision is.
Mm-hmm.
Do we give this much guaranteed to this top level free agent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a high level decision. And then everything above that. So, like, do we hire this coach? Do we hire this GM? Do we bring in this? Like, it's not, hey, I'm hiring the offensive coordinator. No, that's Raheem's decision.
Right.
You know, it's, hey, who do we hire for defense coordinator? That's Raheem. McKay just gets the contract ready.
And I'm not disagreeing with you.
So,
What I'm saying is
I'm not arguing at you. I'm
no,
arguing
no, no.
at
I know you're not. But what I'm trying to make it so that everybody watching the show can get. I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I am saying is, okay, let's roll the clock back. We were told Kirk wasn't injured. You know what I mean? A lot of what has been said by this current
Kirk told
administration.
us he wasn't injured though.
You think Raheem didn't know it? You think the coaches didn't know it? Come on, Scott. You think they didn't know it? Thank you. So what I'm saying is there is a lot of distrust for this current regime, and rightfully so. And then this comes out, and fair or not, it's like it just piles onto it. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I understand the difference between, this guy's got to have this contract for X amount of dollars, so we need to do this, and who's going to coach us next week. I get that. What I'm saying is we were led to believe that he had no involvement. And now we come to find out, well,
he's the
that's
CEO of AMB Sports and Entertainment. You think he's
I
going to
get
have
it.
zero involvement?
No, I don't think that, but that's what we were led to believe. That's all I'm saying.
I
Right?
mean,
I'm not saying right or wrong, fair or not. I'm just saying that is what we were led to believe. So I can understand people being a little disappointed.
they just weren't paying attention to what his actual job title is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, or maybe not. Maybe not. That's fair. That is fair. Let's see here. So let's get to this game, Scott. We got about 7-10 minutes left. Falcons win if this. Finish that sentence for me.
If the offense can figure out how to score more than 28 points.
Okay. All right. So you feel like they're going to score 28. So we need to score more than that. Got it. Okay. Let me see. Carrie has a comment here. She says, I feel like Zach thinks his scheme is bulletproof, like you said, and I feel like he doesn't game plan to his player strengths at all. But I don't understand how you can feel that way.
He also doesn't try to develop his weaknesses.
Yeah, I don't, definitely not. But I don't see here's what I don't understand, right? You are 28th or 29th in scoring.
Gotta change something.
No, but how can you feel like your scheme is working? That's like saying
it's like the Remember the Titans coach. We run 8 plays and it's bulletproof and like that's what that makes me think of. Denzel Washington and Remember the Titans. We're gonna run those 8 plays and we're just keep running them. We're just gonna keep running them. Yeah, Zach, we're gonna run those same 8 plays and they're all gonna get stopped now.
But you don't score, right? Like I could see Kyle Shanahan taking that attitude. I'm not saying it'd be right, But I could see him because Kyle has one.
Shanahan took that attitude in 2015, and then in 2016 blessed us with the best offense we've ever seen in Atlanta.
Correct. Right. But I could see him. He has the credentials to do that, is what I'm saying.
And the
hell is Zach Robinson to do any of that?
Zach Robinson's a failed quarterback from Oklahoma State who was an assistant for Sean McVay for 4 years. That's all Zach Robinson is. And as much as I like Zach Robinson, like coming in and thought he was going to be a good fit, it's proving that he's not. And at this point, I would much rather see what TJ has in his playbook. I would much rather see Ken Zampese take over and run the old Bengals offense with us that he was running with Andy Dalton. Because they were scoring points.
Got to do something. You
AJ had Drake London be the AJ Green. Zampese was scoring points with those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Something. And then whenever Mike McDaniel gets fired, bring him in, fire Zach, let Zach go coach Oklahoma State, and have Mike McDaniel be your offensive coordinator. Because McDaniel would have these guys in a fun offense that would be scoring 50 points a game.
You want to hear something funny? In the Terryverse, the screwed up place that it is, we were going to beat the bejesus out of the Dolphins. Then they fire him, and we bring him on as a consultant. And when Zach takes the job, and when Zach takes the job next year, we just slide him in, and it was just going to be such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that would be great.
What? Maybe that's why we ran that vanilla offense, because Zach saw that coming. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe we weren't even aware. Maybe Zach is playing chess this entire time, and he's like, "Oh no, not on my watch. We're gonna suck this week, and I'm gonna bring out the real offense against New England next week." That's what. Okay, whatever.
Well, I hope he brings some changes to the offense this week, because otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead with my prediction. Falcons lose this one, 28-12. Yes, 4 field goals. Until they show they can score a touchdown that's not in garbage time, I'm not predicting them to score a touchdown. It's that simple.
I'm gonna say Falcons win it. I'm gonna say 30-21 Falcons. I'm gonna say 30-21. I'm gonna say Bijan runs for about 80, but catches $150, and Drake goes off for another $150, and hey, we scored 30 points. We win it.
That means Penix is throwing for 425, and
hey, it could happen.
He's out there getting 70, and
it could happen. That game against the Bills, I think it happened. I think Bijan caught it. Bijan ran it for like 130, and Drake caught 150, and I think Bijan had another. No, he might have had another 50 yards receiving or whatever, but yeah, something like that. Maybe throw in another 80 yards for Kyle. Sprinkle in maybe 60 for Mooney. You know what I mean? Throw in some Tyler. Wait, is Tyler injured?
Tyler's hurt. He's not injured. There's a difference.
Okay.
Are you hurt or are you injured?
That's
like a Shorzy thing.
All right, we got Jay Black in here. Jay Black says, I hope the Falcons win. Jay Black says, it could be a high-scoring game, but it's hard to say. 26-10 Falcons. Jay Black says, hit the like button. Yes, indeed, hit the like button. All right, my friend. Well, hey, I'm going to say Falcons win 30-21, and we will meet back up here, my friend. And hopefully next week's show will be much happier, as we will be lamenting on a Falcons victory. You just never know with these guys. They could go in there and beat the snot out of the Patriots or not. You never know with these guys. But either way, we will be back here next Thursday. Scott, tell these folks where they can find you. And when is the next time you're doing your show with your buds, Scott?
Like I said, sometime mid-November, late November.
All right. Here's the second question that you know is coming, because I know you know what's coming. Huh?
Haven't even been working on it.
Haven't even
opened the page in months.
Come on. What do we have to do to get you over the hump, buddy? What do we got to do?
I got to love writing again, and I haven't loved writing in probably over a year.
Oh man, you and writing need to go to counseling. Y'all need to work out y'all's differences, man. You gotta work
It
out
just
your
is what it
differences.
is.
I hear you. All right, man. Well, hey, you know what? As always, Scott, man, this is fun. Enjoyed it as I do every week. I appreciate you, brother. To everyone who joined us in the chat, Miss Carrie, Jay Black, and my guy John Brooks, thank you guys very much. And everybody out there in the Twitterverse, thank you guys for joining. Hey, if you'd like to join us weekly on the YouTube, you can. As this show is aired on For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Again, the number 4, My ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube. Or you can just grab the link below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Thank God for everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank God for everybody who joined us on Twitter. Thank God for my friend Scott Carasik like Jurassic. Thank God for Jack Spade and my brother for getting me started in this business. You guys have an amazing week, and we will see you when we see you. Go Falcons, everybody.
ATL. Through the highs and the heartbreaks, we still stand. Dirty birds forever. Let's get it. Year after year, we've been riding through the storm. Red and black in my veins, that loyalty is swung. We don't fold, we don't run, even when the pain hits. Cause every loss just reminds us what greatness is. We show up cold nights or the Georgia sun. Cause every Sunday we believe that our time gon' come. We ain't perfect, but we faithful and we never switch. We the city of the A, yeah, we built for this. We don't need pretty words. Heart on the field we deserve. Put the work in, earn that glory. Bring our city back to the story. We'll ride till the wheels fall off. We ain't never gonna break. Win or lose, we stand tall. 48, you can doubt us, talk loud, but we still hold steady. Cause we here and we faithful and we always ready. It's the dirty, prove the dirty. If you bout it, then prove the dirty. We'll believe when you're fighting for the city.